Good day, colleagues. My name is Professor Msizi from the College of Law and Management Studies from the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Today, I'll be presenting on the 8 C's of effective online lesson. We all know that the coronavirus pandemic has changed education forever. It is no longer business as usual. And governments announced lockdowns, and university shut down, and we also migrated to online platforms, and teaching is undertaken remotely on digital platforms, and there's a rise in online learning. And universities were forced now to upskill and reskill academics and students. And now we saw a rise, or the universities organized dry run and rehearsal sessions. And there's an increase now in the use of blended learning approach to education. Now, what is blended learning? Blended learning combines face-to-face instruction with computer-mediated instructions. So we talk about synchronous learning, learning via Moodle, Microsoft Teams. We talk about asynchronous learning. We talk about that is learning perhaps via your learning management system. And learning is 24/7, meaning you can learn anywhere, anytime. So now online learning, that is education that take place over internet. It is enabled electronically. And it incorporates technologies, World Wide Web, email, text, chat, focus groups, and audio, video conferencing, etc. And e-learning is also called virtual learning. That is the online learning, e-learning. It's also called distributed learning, digital learning, and web-based learning. Now, in this talk, I'm going to share my experiences of making the best online lesson comprising the 8 C's, with the aim of assisting non-expert academics to navigate in these challenging times. I hope you will find the 8 C's helpful as they have. Now, the opening phase, the 8 C's of effective learning. You must have the opening phase. In your opening phase, you must have curiosity and concentration. You know what? In the curiosity, you must assess prior knowledge and skills and experiences. Here we talk about baseline assessment. We talk about diagnostic assessment. You must assess your students moving from known to the unknown. And here we talk about pre-test. We talk about quizzes. We talk about brainstorming. And a useful tool for creating curiosity, you must use the Google Forms. You can also use a Padlet as well, which is useful for brainstorming. So concentration, we talk about you must create focused attention. Your learners must focus on tasks and activities. And they must be eager and excited. They must be, eager, what is coming up next. So they must focus on the activities now that they are going to do, what is going to come up next. And the content delivery phase. So this is the heart of your lesson. So we talk about constructivism, connectivism, collaboration, communication, and creativity. When we talk about constructivism, here your students must focus on the construction of knowledge, not the reproduction of knowledge. And here we talk about the student-centered approach. It means your learners must own the lesson. You as a facilitator, you must guide the students, you must motivate your students. So it means you must use your teacher-centered approach to guide your students. And you must also encourage here the student-to-student support. Yes, you can have to guide your students, the what you call your teacher to student support. But the student to student support must dominate. And we also have connectivism, that is learning occurs through connections with the network. So that's why we talk about Zoom, we talk about Microsoft Teams, we talk about Google, we talk about YouTube. And collaboration, you must promote self-discovery. You must promote collaborative group work. And the useful tool here that is important, your Google Docs, your Google Slides, your Google Sheets are very, very important in promoting collaboration. And communication, here you must debate and you must encourage students to debate and discuss ideas. And you as a facilitator, you must politely confirm and refute ideas made by the students. So you must mind your language here. And creativity. You must encourage your students to express their answers creatively and encourage creative, critical thinking as well as problem solving. And the last phase of your online lesson must be the closing phase, that is choice. And allow students to reflect on at the end of the lesson, okay? And allow students to perhaps summarize the lesson in his or her own way. So they must show evidence that they understood the topic. And the useful tool that you can use here is Google Sites. And Google Sites are very, very important for reflections. They sometimes use e-portfolios. And you can also use Google Forms for post-test. Very, very useful. And Google Forms are also useful for getting participants' feedback. And as the 8C teacher, your students must be able to integrate concepts and skills learned in your 24/7 online classroom with other modules, courses areas, and apply knowledge outside the classroom. We all know it is evident that the pandemic has ensured that it is no longer business as usual for teaching. Therefore, it is imperative for educators to use the 8Cs to adapt to e-learning that may be part of our lives even post-COVID-19. Thank you very much, colleagues. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you're going to use the 8Cs because the 8Cs are very, very useful. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.